Okay, everyone, welcome along to ECITV. On today's episode, we have a wrap-up of Warrnambool round of the state titles.
State series.
State series. A bit of a report from Michael Byers, caught up with him, a bit of an interview with Bobby Bike, some Staystrong bottles, dismounts, ODI Windbreakers, some Troy Lee designed new helmets, and a whole lot more, so stay tuned.
See you in a bit. G'day, he's Gary.
And here's Shane.
And you're watching ECI TV.
You certainly are. Enjoy. Okay, Shane.
Okay, so
how's
like
this,
you
mate?
said, how's this?
How's this?
What? Episode 35. We've been running for over a year.
Over 12 months now.
Wow.
Sweet. I got to talk quieter. I forgot.
So I think it's 12 months and 1 week, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. So happy birthday, everyone.
7 days does make a whole week.
So we've got a whole lot to discuss, unlike the last couple of weeks. So we'll kick it off with an interview that I had with Bobby Bike about Life Behind Bars, which is a new album he released in the last week, I think it is now. So we did a quick interview catching up with who Bobby Bike is, what his BMX background is, and talked a fair bit about the songs. You watched this
What
interview?
a character. Yeah, oh yeah, what a character. Yeah. I thought it was a bit strange when he came on. Oh, anyway, afterwards.
No spoilers. So, hey, Bobby Bike, thanks very much for joining us here.
Yeah, no problem.
So you've got a new release out that was just, on Friday?
Yeah, a few days ago now.
So it wasn't that long ago that I noticed BMX for Life was available, and then all of a sudden Life Behind Bars. It must only be, 6 months difference? So quite prolific with the BMX songs.
Yeah, I busted out a BMX for Life, and I think I just had some downtime. I got the first song I wrote was "I Got Love" off the new album, and I was thinking of just putting that out as a single because I was like, I don't know if I can just write a bunch of more songs and put another album, but I just got in the groove, and I got a couple messages of people like, hey, thanks, like keep writing songs and this, and it kind of motivated me a little more, and yeah, before I knew it, I had a couple songs, and then, when I got to like 4 or 5 songs, I was like, all right, I just got to bust this out. And yeah, really, I wrote the whole thing in probably just like 3 months, and I kind of wasn't planning on, releasing another album so quickly. But yeah, when the bug hits you, you just got to go for it, and the creative juice is flowing. So, but yeah, I'm proud with it. It wasn't something that, I just kind of threw together. I get some ideas that don't quite make it. But yeah, I think all these songs came out pretty good. So.
What's your favorite song off Life Behind Bars?
Mine is probably Fly. It was one of the last, I think it was actually the last song I wrote on it. I just kind of felt like it needed a little more of a I don't know, kind of alternative style a song. But yeah, when it first, I was kind of predicting with family and friends, what songs would be the most popular. Most of the people I play, I've kind of, when I was writing it, like Mamacita was kind of like a really catchy one people kind of gravitated towards. And Pedal, Pedal, Pedal as well. I kind of figured I could see kind of younger kids really liking that one a little more. And then there's just some fun ones, like Dirty Girl. Just kind of I brought some people in, just kind of had some fun with that. But yeah, I'd say Fly's probably in there. I Got Love is probably still like my top 3. Freestyle Like a Reptile is kind of fun. I was trying to kind of capture a little bit of a Rage Against the Machine type of sound and just a lot of guitars. And so that one was kind of like a little different one than I've really done. So that was fun. And that's the hardest thing, is trying to get songs that don't all sound the same, get a good variety in there. I brought a couple of slow ones, you got Whole Shot Honey is kind of just a piano medley and acoustic guitar. And so, yeah, I just try to mix up. But yeah, I don't know. Have you been able to listen to much? You got any favorites yet, or?
Sweet Sesh, I think, is a favorite of
Yeah,
mine. Kind of
yeah,
instantly hit me because I've got a backyard track and I'm always riding it and always playing music and always
yeah,
looking for that Sweet Sesh. So yeah,
yeah.
when I heard that, I just thought, oh, and I think you might have seen I posted on Instagram and quoted from it. It was cool.
Yeah, and one thing I was trying to go, my background is mainly BMX, a little bit of motocross, and I do want to I don't want to pigeonhole into BMX, and so yeah, Sweet Sesh is hopefully something that mountain bikers,
Mm.
uh, motocross, just any bike genre can kind of hit up. Unlike pedal, which kind of more to BMX racing style. And so yeah, I tried to kind of diversify. I've got a lot of mountain bike followers, and so I'm haven't really gotten much into writing any songs about mountain biking or downhill stuff. But so yeah, I kind of like Sweet Sessions. Hopefully, it just kind of hits any type of rider, no matter what they're into.
Well, I think all your songs pretty much encapsulate like the feeling of being a BMX racer, and some of them even motivating. I mean, the kind of field song, and
Yeah,
it
thanks.
would kind of be your favorite writer. Is that why you picked on him specifically?
Yeah. Hey, I've kind of grew up around him. Yeah, I met him several times, and we're kind of from the same, Southwest area of the United States, and so, and yeah, he was kind of just a fun, someone recommended I should write a song about Elise Post or something. And I was just like, I don't want to get too many songs about different writers, but but yeah, I was just kind of, I don't know. One day I was like, yeah, I should write a song about Connor Fields, and it's kind of just a funny joke, but.
Do you know if he's heard it?
I pretty sure he has, but he hasn't contacted me or
Ah.
anything.
So what is your BMX background? How come you've got all these songs about BMXing?
Yeah, I've started when I was young. I mean, BMX pretty much been my life. Just cruising around the United States, hitting nationals. I took a couple-year break doing racing dirt bikes and doing motocross, and then I'm back in full swing into BMX. I'm hitting these nationals over here. I've got one next weekend in Phoenix, Arizona. So yeah, just kind of training and just going back at it, man.
So it must be quite a juggle. I'm sure that's not the only thing you do. Like, um,
Yeah, I've got a day job, and so yeah, writing music, BMX, and job to pay the bills, and but life's all good. A little bit of time to chill here and there. So
it's almost like COVID wouldn't have affected your life. You would have always found
yeah,
something.
yeah, it's the funny. The whole start of Bobby Bike was kind of during COVID. I was watching Robin Big. I don't know if you remember Rob Dyrdek. He's a professional skateboarder, and he had a show. His first show on MTV was called Robin Big, and it was him and his buddy Big Black, kind of his bodyguard. Anyways, it was an old show. It was on MTV a while ago. There's like 2 or 3 seasons. But anyways, one of the seasons, this was probably back in March or so last year, February, March. Anyways, one of the seasons, he uh, he creates this persona called Bobby Light, and he writes this one-hit wonder. He gets a costume, and he kind of goes incognito, and he creates this person called Bobby Light. They record a song and just kind of have fun with it. And anyways, I watched that, and I just for some reason I got the idea, dude, I should do something like that. Just create this this person, and call him Bobby Bike, and he writes songs, and he's a writer, and no one knows who he is. And so that's kind of how it all started. I forgot the episode, but yeah, Rob Dyrdek inspired it with one of his episodes. And it was actually like within that last first couple days, the Ride My Bike song just I got in my head. I was like, Ride My Bike from that first album. And that was like, I was just like, I'm gonna write a song called Ride My Bike. And that was the first song I wrote in there. And then, it was kind of took off from there. So it's just been fun ever since.
I tried to explain the music to a couple of people yesterday, and I hate
Mhm.
pigeonholing, so I wouldn't say it was rap or,
Yeah,
some of
yeah,
it. So I'd actually say it's just fun songs about BMX.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think you can
Rock,
explain it any
rap.
other way, really, can you?
Yeah, and I want to. Yeah, who knows where I might write a country song. I might, just. But yeah, obviously, kind of my past music genres are kind of bleeding into a lot of this. As far as just rock, alternative, maybe a little bit electronic, a little bit of rap. I love like '90s rap, and so. Um, Maybe deep down I always wanted to be a rapper. I never have really rapped in any of my bands. It's just kind of something that and I again when I kind of thought of Bobby Bike, I pictured him as a someone with like a big ego, and he just has a lot to tell the world, and he thinks he's the shiz, and he is just so I kind of have run with that, which isn't obviously kind of uh me personally. I'm a lot more humble, but I kind of got to keep Bobby Bike keep him just rolling hard, and thinks he's the best rapper in the world, even though he's not. So, so yeah,
Sorry, I can keep talking for ages, but what I might do is I'll get you to tell us how people can listen to your music.
yeah, yeah. So, my only social media right now is just Instagram. I got sick of Facebook, and so I don't do much on there. But maybe one day I'll get on there and then, I just started a YouTube channel. I'll get some videos up there I actually do have a couple of the lyric videos that I posted on Instagram on there, and obviously when I get some music videos done, they'll be on there. Um, but yeah, iTunes, Spotify, all the platforms you could pretty much find Bobby Bike songs. And and yeah, for up to date stuff, Instagram's my main. Just kind of trying to keep up on stuff from there and communicate with others and
All right. Like I said, I mean, I've got a ton more questions. What I think I might do is come back to you in a bit down the track, and we'll talk to you again if that's all right.
yeah, anytime, man. More than open to it, and yeah, appreciate you reaching out. Good stuff. So
Thanks
appreciate
very
you.
much, and good luck with the new release.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Shane.
Yeah, what a character! It's when when I first watched it, and he came on with his goggles on and everything. But then I researched him. He can't find a photo anywhere of him without his goggles, basically.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
didn't
have you
realise.
had a look?
No.
Go through his Instagram and everything like that. Every photo, every promo, he's got his goggles on. So obviously wants to stay a little bit incognito.
Yeah, he did mention that when we were talking about the interview, that I couldn't ask too many detailed questions. He didn't want to give his identity away. So,
Okay.
so I can imagine that's the case. I'm surprised he showed off his chin. I would have thought that would be quite distinguishable.
The mystery of Bobby Bike. Yeah, no, it was good. And he's got some good tracks. Oh, look, I haven't listened to his new album. I listened to his previous one quite a bit, and but I haven't had a chance to listen to his new one, but I will.
You will. The new one's a little bit better than the last one I found.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And also this past week, Tanya Bailey, who was a 2008 Olympian and many times national Australian champion in the elite class, and sponsored rider by ECI at many points, wasn't she?
She was. Yep.
She celebrated her 40th birthday, so a
Jeez.
big happy birthday to Tanya. She doesn't look a day older than when she was racing as a
crazy.
24-year-old. So that was pretty exciting. What else do we have? Tioga. We got a bit more about Tioga. They're going to release a faster tyre in the 24 by 1.75 size. So all you cruiser riders out there, get ready. There's a faster tyre coming. So what about some Staystrong for us?
Yeah, a little bit from Staystrong. We've got a couple of new products in at the moment. New T-shirt, but yeah, the protein shaker and pill dispenser. So yeah, protein shakers have come in from Staystrong, so we've got those in stock, which is a neat sort of bottle.
So is this for geriatrics that can't remember what day of the week it is?
What, the pill bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get to that. But
What day
yeah,
of the week is it?
normal. No idea. It's not fishing day, I know that. It's too windy. So yeah, protein shakers, they're about $20. What they do come with is pretty neat. They come with a pill dispenser, and you can rotate that around. Let me see where it is. Rotate that around so you can allocate your vitamins trackside. It's got 4 little components in there, so you can put what you need for the day. In the bottom part is obviously where you put your powder for your protein shake. You can just run it like that without the pill dispenser, obviously. But yeah, cool little thing. Like I said, about $20, and got them in stock at the moment. And on top of that, we have a drink bottle that has a long straw that goes right down to the bottom and a mouthpiece. So what that means is you can pop it under your helmet or through the opening of your helmet. Grab a hydrate before you go onto the track, or just when you come off without having to take your helmet off. So another little cool product. We've had these in before from Staystrong, but sold out straight away. Again, I think about $20, and got those in stock at the moment.
Is that the adult bottle? I think the kids' hands wouldn't fit in those little ribs there like that.
No, the kids' one's got a little teat on the top instead of a hose. So
thank you.
You wanted me to say that. So yeah, a couple of quick items. There's also some new disc brake mount adapters for Staystrong frames. I'm not too sure if they fit anything else or not, so I haven't sort of had a chance to delve into that. They only come in the last couple of days, but they do suit 10, 15 or 20 mil axles. Individually, you have to buy the appropriate one. It's not adjustable. So yeah, there you go.
Also, since our last episode, I've put together another how-to video. This one is on how to replace an Echo helmet buckle. So we have discussed the Echo helmet buckles before in the past. They replace the D-shackle in your helmet to make it much easier to secure your helmet, basically. And one hand operation.
So much easier for the little kids, so they don't have to take the gloves off to unclip and take their helmet off, or older people with short, fat fingers.
Tell me about it. So this is how to replace a clip. So it also tells you how to take it off. If you've got one like I hadn't been used for 12 months, got all rusty, became useless. I took that off, put a brand new one on, and bobbed your uncle. So full process. Nice quick video for you. Less than the 9-minute one we did for
the introduction of them. Oh, that's yeah. No, it is a good quick look, and look, it does look a little bit complicated when you first see the Echo helmet clips, but they're really straightforward. And once you get your head around it after watching Shane's video, you'll understand. And yeah, it's a inexpensive little additive to your helmet that does make life easier.
So much easier. Also new in the past couple of weeks, well actually I only noticed it the past couple of weeks, could be a little bit older, is the ODI Heater Windbreaker. So ODI have a new jacket. I was looking for another hoodie and come across this jacket they've got, which is water resistant, and it's one of those thin ones, so it's perfect for layering up, and it folds up really nice and small. They come in adult, small, medium, large and extra large sizes, and they come with option of black with red print or grey with black print. So
when you say heater jacket, it's not.
I don't think it's got a heater in it.
Not like some of the.
I think that's just like, you know, this was called the Youth Crew T-shirt, and it fits me, so there's no youth T-shirt.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so I'm glad of that, because I actually was going to rush out and buy a ODI heated.
It's a heater jacket, not a heated jacket.
Okay.
But they do look good, and you know, with things cooling down around here, probably going to come in quite handy. Troy Lee Designs have released their 2021 helmet line. So a whole bunch of new designs in the D4 carbon fiber, D4 composite, and the D3 fiber light, which is the lower end helmet. These designs are way more inspiring than the last couple of years, and it could be something to do with the 40th anniversary of Troy Lee. So they're celebrating 40 years this year, as well as Tanya Bailey. So happy birthday to Troy Lee. And it's great that a company can be running as long as 40 years and still cranking out some great products.
Incredible.
Yeah. So no more news? No more new news?
Not that I can think of. ECI BMX has got a new website.
Oh, they do.
As from about an hour ago. So if you want to check it out, yeah, we've We've changed the format of the ECI website, and please give us some feedback and let us know what you think. But yeah, just to make it a bit simpler to find products and an easy to read menu, and yeah, just been launched today.
How do people get to that?
You're the guru. ECIimports.com or ECIBMX.com.au.
Or just search for ECI BMX and you'll find it.
Look, search for quality BMX products and it should come up.
You'd hate for them to do that and find something else.
on the 6th page of Google, you'll find it. Oh, well.
It's been a long time coming, but we finally caught up with Michael Bias for another Bias opinion, although we didn't really pick a topic because it has been so long since we spoke to him. It was really more of a catch-up. So since we spoke to him, he'd been injured again. He'd raced the New Zealand National Championships and won that. He was really on the back foot. I'm not sure if you saw the interview or even watched the...
I haven't had a chance to have a look at the interview, no.
So in his very first moto, he unclipped out of the gate and it was by points overall. So he had some catching up to do and pretty much had to win the last two and he managed to do that. So yeah, the pressure was on and he worked well under pressure. I think he was only back on the bike for 6 weeks before the National Championships. So that was a pretty big effort, basically.
Geez, it's been a long time since we've caught up with him.
Yeah,
that's great.
I don't think we spoke to him this week at all. This year. It feels a pretty long week. But he's also got some new sponsors that he talks about as well.
Ah, cool. No, he's a good kid.
Yeah. So you're going to press bop?
You can. No.
So Michael, thanks for joining us again. It's been a little while since we spoke to you last time. Gosh, it must be... We haven't spoken to you all year, have we?
No, I think last time we spoke was not long after my collarbone surgery. So since then, I've actually had another crash, which was my first ride back after a 3-month rehab, and yeah, lots has happened between then.
Right. So, and you injured yourself again quite severely, didn't you?
Yeah. So it was my first ride back, and I was on flats, and I mean, I'd been running for a couple of hours, felt really good actually, and then just the smallest of mistakes, slipped my pedal and a huge consequence, and yeah, I had internal bleeding and spent a few nights in hospital just getting that right. And yeah, that was just, had another one, let's take a few weeks off and come back stronger.
That's nasty. So, between lockdown and 2 injuries, you haven't spent a lot of time on the bike, have you?
No, not really. And I just had nationals on the weekend, and that was a year and I think 2 weeks between races. And in between that time, yeah, I had 2 injuries, new bike, new components, lots of other things, and it just adds to the excitement or nerves. Really, you don't know how you're going to go. You don't know where you're at. Like, it's just a complete new feeling, really. Like, I had no momentum for anything, and it was just like, where am I? Like, am I going to be fast? Am I going to be slow? I don't know. So it was really hard, but I enjoyed it.
So it was probably good to give your body a rest too over that period, on and off.
Yeah, and during my collarbone surgery, like I was in the gym the next day after surgery, training, which was really good for my mind and for my body. But for that second crash, it was just like, okay, like I couldn't do anything anyway. So I just took a few weeks off, let it refresh. I think that worked out quite well. But yeah, in saying that, like, no racing for a year and a year and 2 weeks there's not many pros that come out of that.
The Americans and the Europeans have all been able to race through that time, really, haven't they? They didn't take anywhere near as much of a break.
I just heard what I said. By pros, I meant pros and cons, not pros. Allegra. Yeah, obviously, yeah, in Europe, they've been basically racing. They had Verona last year. They've been racing this year as well. America never stopped, really, did they?
No.
Yeah, New Zealand, we've been, I mean, we never have much racing anyway. We're a small country, but with COVID, we've had a lot of little lockdowns just because as soon as we get one community case, we're back into a lockdown. So, yeah, it's been stop-starty. There's been a few races that I've had to miss because of injuries and stuff, but we haven't had a hell of a lot of racing anyway.
So I think one of the things we spoke to you about last year was how up in the air the qualifying was for the Olympics, and whether or not the Olympics would happen. So at this stage, the Olympics are still going ahead, aren't they? And you've got 4 qualifying rounds prior to that. So
Yeah.
what does that mean to you? That opens up a little window that you might be able to sneak through finally.
Yeah, there's a little bit of clarification finally, but in saying that, in these times it's so unpredictable. There's meant to be 2 World Cups in Germany and 2 in Colombia. Whether they go ahead, I think it's a different story right now. I think there's something like 15 countries not allowed into Germany at this stage.
Oh, right.
So I'm not sure how they can hold a World Cup like that. But yeah, they're going ahead. So my plan is to get over there and do those. But it's basically any UCI race between now and I think June 1st is counting towards Olympic qualifying. So Nationals on the weekend was a good start for me to get some points in the bag, and then hopefully I can go over to Europe and just carry on the momentum I had from a couple of years ago now, where the World Cups are in Argentina and Shepparton. I get the confidence is still there. It's just I guess getting back into the swing of things and making sure I'm 100%.
You've had good results in South America, haven't you?
Yeah, I've actually been there twice now. Colombia in 2016, I was coming off a really bad run of injuries, and that was actually my last lot of bad injuries until the recent ones. And I actually thought I rode really well there for how slow I was. I had the 4th fastest women's hill time.
4th fastest women's hill time?
Yeah, in Colombia, which I laugh about all the time. And I ended up winning my final moto, which had Shirar, Nijhaag, Navastad, and I ended up winning that. So I rode it right. I think I got to the 1/8 finals. But at the time, that was awesome. And then, Argentina in 2019, that was my other time to South America, and I got in the semi-finals. So that was very good.
So there's progression there. You have to make the main now.
Have to make the main, yeah. Looks like a good track in Bogota, actually. I just watched the racing on the weekend from that track, and we're racing the World Cup there, and it looks like a really good racetrack. The Colombians, obviously good racers themselves. Looks awesome, so hopefully we do go there and race that track. Good
luck with that. Hopefully it all goes ahead. Since we spoke to you last, you've also picked up a couple of sponsors along the way. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, I was, I can't remember if I was with Prophecy. Yeah, we were, because we did the bike check with Prophecy last time. So I got aboard my Prophecy, which I've really enjoyed. Like, it's a lot different to my Speedco in terms of geometry. It's a lot lower, a lot longer, and I feel I feel like I can apply more power to it, it's an interesting thing. I never really thought about that when I was on my other bikes, when I was playing with the geometry and playing with the setup. I never really thought about that. And since getting on the Prophecy, it just feels like it's just made to be able to apply that power in the right way. So that's cool. And then recently you're picking up Pride Components, which is another French company. That's been really cool, because last few years I've been obviously racing in Europe, and I've seen a lot of my favourite riders and a lot of good French riders riding with Pride Components. And when they hit me up, I think it was late last year, I was very privileged, I guess, to be able to work with a company like that. And so far so good. I'm running their wheels, so their rims, their hubs, handlebars, which I really like them. They're 0 degree back sweep, so they're flat.
0 degree?
Yeah.
Jeez.
The Renault Blanc specials.
All right.
What else am I running?
So is that with the oversized
yeah.
What do you call it? Clamping area?
Yeah, so I'm running their stem as well.
Okay.
And a few other bits and pieces, and I'm really enjoying it. I've got their alloy wheels at home, just for, I guess, bumpier corners, and I'll try those out when time comes, but so far just on the carbons.
So they weren't Pride pedals that you slipped when you went back into hospital?
No, it was actually my shoes, and I was talking to my dad that day, and I've had these flat shoes for like 2 years, and they're munted. And I think like halfway through the session, I was talking to my dad about like, oh man, I need some new shoes or something, and then sure enough, that happened. But yes, I guess it didn't damage my confidence too much, because some of it was my shoes. The track I was riding, like, you make this much of a mistake, and the consequence is huge. Where any other track, if I'd done the same thing, I would have probably just slipped my pedal, fell on my seat, and then rode off. Where at this track, it's just, you can't make a little mistake like that. So, it didn't really dent my confidence too much, but it was just good to get back on my bike and just slowly get back into the swing of things. And I guess I had enough time to prepare enough for nationals. So when I came to nationals, I didn't have to think about anything. It was just like normal. But yeah, I guess looking back now, even though it's only been a few days, I was probably a bit optimistic in terms of how I was going to feel. Like I was going into it like, yeah, I'm 100%, but I don't think I am yet. And that's some of it because my gym program hasn't really tapered off for the weekend, and it's only been, I think, 8 weeks since my comeback. So, yeah.
So during the first injury, the collarbone, you were in the gym before you'd fully recovered. Were you doing the same thing this time around?
Yeah, so I could a little bit with my collarbone. I was actually quite fortunate. Like, it was my collarbone that was injured, and basically everything else was 100%. My legs were sweet. Everything else was good except my collarbone, so I could still do a lot. Where with the second crash, like, I did my ribs, my organs were quite bruised and battered, so like my stomach, I couldn't do any core. My knee was really swollen. I couldn't really walk on that. What else did I hurt? I think I hurt my other shoulder a little bit. So like I was quite bruised and battered my whole body. So I just took a few weeks off, did nothing, and then slowly got back into the swing of things. I didn't. There was no rush really, especially after having, I think it was like 4.5 months off or 4 months off. It was like, okay, let's just take it easy and get back to 50% before we worry about getting 100%. Where with my collarbone, it was like I wanted to come back 100% straight away.
Yeah.
Where I don't regret that because I actually had racing straight after my collarbone if I didn't crash. But yeah, it is what it is.
So how many New Zealand elite championships have you won now in a row? Is it 3?
2 in a row,
2.
3 overall, yeah.
Oh, right. So it must have been good to actually be on the bike again and racing, and even better to do it for a national championship. So what was the crowd like? I mean, I think I watched last year's national championships online. It was a pretty small crowd. I think you said it was in the South Island or something,
Yeah.
so it was a bit of a smaller venue. What was it like this time in comparison?
Yeah, last year it was weird. It was, like the elites were run separate to the amateurs last year, so the elites didn't actually go. It got, like, normally they're around March, April, around Easter, and they got pushed to October Labour weekend, which is late October. So a lot of families were just like, this is too much, and they just cancelled their trip. So it was a very small crowd there, as expected. But no, this year it wasn't huge numbers in terms of attendance for riders. I think it was just over 500, which is not massive for us. But the crowd was huge, actually. Like, the whole track was surrounded with gazebos with people. You couldn't see really any spare space, so that was awesome. The elite field, it wasn't great. I think there was 5 elites and 3 juniors, so we just ran a gate of 8 and did 3 motos points overall. And there was 4 or 5 of us that were very similar speed, and the juniors right now, they're humming. So I think for the future of New Zealand, like, if these boys carry on, I think we're in good position. Like, they're really quick at the start, and I think if they can get overseas and get some racing experience, then they'll be quite good.
Were they the young guys that we saw here in Shepparton last year?
Yep. Yeah. So 2 of them came over. There was another one, Bennett, that didn't go to the World Cups last year, but he's also going quite well. He got second in the juniors just on the past weekend. But yeah, 2 of the other boys, one of them's elite, Rico D'Anvers, and the other one, Rico Bierman. They went to Shepparton, and yeah, they were also racing on the weekend. They're going very well. And yeah, just when there's a small field like that, it makes it really, I guess, easy to sort of follow, and there's not too much going on, if that makes sense. So I guess I could follow Connor Felix around the track and kind of stay quite close to him. But then in a race, when there's 5 other guys on the track, I've got to get past 4 of them before I can even get close to him.
Yep.
So it looks huge. Where, because it's only us 4, I think it's quite easy to sort of get in behind someone and just follow. There's no one slowing anyone down really.
Yep.
But it was good racing, and that, yeah, that's what we need.
Any argy-bargy, or everyone playing it safe?
Was there any argy-bargy? Well, it was actually funny in the first, so because we had points over 3 races, you obviously want to start off strong, and in the first race I snapped out the gate. I had lane 8, second pedal, my clip broke, and my foot blew out. So it was in slow motion, and I was just thinking, like, in third pedal, I was like, shit, like, I can't afford for this to happen. So I chucked my foot back in, pedaled, and then got the first and the second, which are huge. So, like, because I was going so slow, my speed just got worse and worse, and they were just getting further away. And in the first corner, one of the boys who was in 6th or 7th, I don't know what he thought was going on, but because the second straight's so big, they've got to rail the first corner, like NASCAR it. So I'm here, he's underneath me, and he's just pushing me up, and I'm thinking, let me pass, like, I've got to go. And yeah, he was pushing me out the corner. We're like hitting elbows, and in my brain, I was thinking, what is going on? Like, this is not how I pictured it. This is not what I was hoping for. I got past him and ended up getting into 3rd, which was quite good. Saved some points, and then, yeah, basically meant I had to win the last 2 races. And with the boys, like, they're really good down the ramp. That's, I guess, their strength, and yeah, I guess it's my weakness as well. So I wasn't expecting to be able to whole shot every race comfortable, but yeah, I managed to whole shot the last 2 races. And once I was in the first corner first, again, it went through my brain. It's like, okay, you've got this. Just don't do anything dumb, and yeah, hold on. And that's what I did. So it was a pretty cool feeling with everything building up to it, and then the way the day went. Like, I had so much shit happen that morning and that day that it was just like, in my head, I was just like, well, maybe I'm not supposed to win this. Maybe I'm not going to win it, and that's okay. And I was kind of okay with the fact that I might not win it, which I hate, because yeah, I don't know how I could live with myself if I didn't win it. Just because, nothing against the other guys. It's just that I'm so competitive, and I just love winning so much, and it means a lot to me. And I knew it was a good chance for me to win. It's a good track. I was in pretty good shape, actually. But yeah, it was just such a good feeling, just the way everything happened, and to finally cross that finish line in first and last race and know I'd won it. It was just like, damn, that feels good.
It did look like a big track. A lot of New Zealand tracks like that one, or is that a bit of a standout?
That's, yeah, definitely the biggest. Yeah, I think there was 4 people who got through the pro section each race, which it's not a good show. I didn't think it's a good spectacle for the fans, to be honest. One of the boys, I got a lot of respect for everyone, especially the girls that jumped the first jump there, because that first jump is massive. It's probably the biggest first jump I've ever jumped off an 8 meter. So for the girls that did it, kudos to them.
Yeah.
And for the second straight, yeah, it's probably one of the hardest berm jumps I've got through, just because the straight goes uphill and it goes biggest. Like, you're just losing speed the whole straight. So respect to everyone who jumped through there in practice and stuff. And one of the boys came up super short in racing and actually bent his cranks, like, instead of being 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, they were 12 o'clock and 8 o'clock. So, yeah, it was huge, which makes it different for racing. Like, normally when you're racing, it's just worrying about positioning, yeah, other things. But here it was kind of like, you've got to make sure you jump the jumps first, which is a weird feeling.
So do you reckon UCI should be looking at a track like that one for a World Cup?
I think they've spoke about it. I think they've actually had some word, well, especially with Sarah Walker involved. I think she's had some words to try and get a World Cup here. I think they've got a little bit of work to be done. I don't know if you've seen the corners. They're pretty damn huge.
Yeah, they did look big. Like, you wouldn't use them all.
No. They didn't work too bad, actually. I actually thought they would be worse, but they're actually all right. But yeah, I think if we've got Crankworks here in New Zealand every year, so if we could link like a World Cup in with Crankworks, I think you could get a huge crowd. Compared, like, I mean, some of the World Cups these days, like Papendal and stuff, they're not that big. And I'm confident in New Zealand, in Rotorua, it's like the mountain bike hub of New Zealand, and we're quite big on mountain biking here. You could attract, a huge crowd. there was some awesome dirt jumps up on the hill, which is probably 50 meters from the Supercross ramp, which we had like a big jam on Saturday night, and that attracted a hell of a lot of people as well. So yeah, it's definitely in a good place. Good people behind the club. The club's run so well. So I think if we got a World Cup there, it'd be a cool crowd, and the racing is it's pretty good as well. So it could be cool.
Well, that'd be awesome. So there was another sponsor I think we forgot to mention, Elite Seat. Is that one you picked up as well?
Yep, I did forget that.
You brought that up one time. We were having a discussion, and you said, "Have you seen the Elite Seat?" I had no idea what you were talking about. So you're all over it, well and truly before I was.
Yeah.
Want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's a Kiwi guy designed it. Living in Aussie now. Yeah, I guess when I got the Prophecy, I didn't really think about it because I wasn't racing, but it hasn't got a seat clamp. It's got an Allen key that you just got to undo it, pull the seat out, put your other one in, and that would be a pain in the ass come race day and I guess training as well. So Darren at Elite Seat, he's basically designed a box seat, goes into your frame, so that stays in my frame the whole time. It's just got a hole in the top, and the Elite Seat basically just goes into the hole, and it doesn't turn. It's got some slots in that slide in, so you can't turn the seat, which is cool. You don't want your seat turning. So it's so convenient. I've actually had so many messages and comments in real life just were like, whoa, that's pretty cool. That's handy. Obviously after a race, you just grab it, chuck it in, and off you go. You don't lose your other seat. I think it's perfect. So yeah, that's been awesome.
Oh, that's cool. And you've got another Red Bull pump track race coming up soon?
Yeah, it's actually this Saturday.
Straight into it.
Yeah, that was the same as last year. We had nationals, and the next week was the Red Bull. So I was on a bit of a high after last year, winning nationals and then Red Bull. So hopefully this year I can replicate that as well. Obviously with last year, my ticket's still valid, so I've still got my ticket to the World Champs this year if they go ahead. But no, I just want to go have some fun and try and win it again.
Was it the same track as last year?
Same place. I don't know whether there's two tracks in that place. There's like the track we raced on last year is a real quick track, and the other one, it's super technical. Like the jumps are really deep, the corners are real technical. I'm not sure which one we'll use. I'd say we use the same one as last year, but I'm not sure. But yeah, hopefully I can go down there and win it again. We've got a few mountain bikers from New Zealand that didn't race last year because they were overseas. They're racing this year and they're quite good. So hopefully they can bring something that we didn't have last year.
Will you be on 20-inch wheels?
Yeah, definitely. The world champ Tommy Zula, he's on 26, but I think for this track in Cambridge, it's a bit tighter, and I think for the tighter tracks you need a 20-inch to weave your way through it. But definitely on the straighter tracks, I think a 26 would help.
What other races have you got planned in the near future?
Yeah, I guess there's not a lot. I'm planning on going to Europe mid-April, and then that will be for Germany, the World Cup, and then Colombia. And then from there, if that all goes ahead, I guess by the time I come back to New Zealand, it'll be June, and then, yeah, who knows? That'll be middle of winter. If I get into Olympics, then obviously Olympics is July, August.
Yep.
So then that'll be on the cards. If not, then I'll just, get back into winter training and then carry on for either the end of the year or next year.
So have you still got the 14 days of lockdown if you travel overseas?
Yeah, and it's $3,000 you've got to fork out yourself. So.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's about all we've got time for. What we'll do is catch up again soon. Hopefully, I won't leave it so long in between drinks. But thanks very much for joining us again, and congratulations on your third win.
Thanks for having me on.
No worries.
Talk soon.
As far as events go, we've had the New Zealand National Championships, as we spoke about a bit earlier. I did notice Sarah Walker wasn't in the lineup, so I went and had a look at what was going on with her. She's had some more hardware removed from a previous injury and was recovering, so she was out of action. But I believe she was trackside watching people ride. And also, we're going to give you a link in the description so that you can watch that live stream back if you like. I think it was Sky News or Sky Sport or something over there did a live feed, so they've captured all of the highs and lows. If you ask Michael, they captured one of his lows for the day with that unclipping down at first, down the starting hill, sorry. So do we want to spit out results on the screen, or do we want to provide a link to the results?
No, just a link will be fine.
Okay. So
I think it was streamed on channel Sucks, wasn't it?
Sucks.
Sucks. Sucks to sucks.
And as Gary touched on earlier, the Oz Cycling Victorian State Series, not the State Championships, were on at Warrnambool over the weekend. So most of us went down, all the important people did. Gary stayed home. And we managed to get a video together. So if you haven't seen that already, we have made it a separate show just to try and keep ECITV a little bit easier to consume. So we'll provide you with a link to that. Essentially, Max Cairns won over Bodie Turner. They had some great racing in that final, and Bodie just missed out for a second place. We had, who was the winner? Bella May won Superclass Women. So she had some good tussles with Julie, I can't remember her surname. She's one of your riders under...
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
But we'll provide you a link to the results there as well.
Congratulations, Julie, you did well.
And Luke Pretlove, the local from Warrnambool, won the Masters Men.
Yeah, you won't see him for another 12 months.
He said that actually. He's going to retire.
That was a good video clip of that race meeting, actually.
Yeah. So we had a lot of help. Zach Main, Glenn's son, who does the main report, he was helping us on the camera. We had Brandon Bullows helping. I did some recording, and obviously Glenn was there on the mic and doing his thing. If he looks a little bit shaky when you watch the video right at the start, that's because he literally stepped off his bike, took it back to the tent, raced back, and started interviewing. So he's still still trying to recover. Yeah, so I'm not surprised, and he does calm down as the races go on. So that's about all we have.
Actually, there's a few video clips come out from the weekend. I saw the Profile Panda, which was a bit of a surprise to me. I didn't know anything about the Profile Panda, but he sort of made his debut down there down at the race meeting.
Actually, he made an appearance at the last event we went to. Where was that?
Okay. Well, anyway, we might even run that little clip because it only goes for about a minute or two. But yeah, Profile Panda. So keep an eye out for him at the track and go up and see him, kick him in the shins, and see if you can get yourself a free sticker or something.
I wouldn't kick him in the shins, but he does have free stickers. And it doesn't look like Kung Fu Panda, so he's not quite as built as I am. So he can run, so if you start beating on him, he's going to run away.
Or chase you down.
As far as events coming, we have Shepparton in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yep.
For Victorian State Series round 2 and 3. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah,
and the National Series is rapidly approaching, so we should have some more racing for you very soon.
Yeah, very good.
But for today,
yeah, we're filled in with bits and pieces and a few videos and interviews, and definitely get onto the Bobby Bike soundtracks and have a good listen to that, because yeah, it's a bit of fun. He seems like a bit of a dude.
He does. And we might come back to him again later on down the track. It's just one of those things where, you start talking to other BMX people and you can't get them to stop. Sean Collins is a good example. All right, thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time.
Stay safe out there and see you trackside.
Cheers.
Cheers.
got that one now, huh?